The voice you are about to hear is that of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, in what has become known as the infamy speech. This is a portion of his 7-minute address to a joint session of Congress on December 8, 1941, one day after the Empire of Japan attacked the American naval base at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii without warning, plunging the United States into a war that would forever change the world we live in.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. Yesterday, the Japanese government also launched an attack against Malaya. Last night, Japanese forces attacked Hong Kong. Last night, Japanese forces attacked Guam. Last night, Japanese forces attacked the Philippine Islands. Last night, the Japanese attacked Wake Island. And this morning, the Japanese attacked Midway Island. With confidence in our armed forces, with the unbounding determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph. So help us God.
My mother was a teenager growing up in Eugene, Oregon when the attack against Pearl Harbor took place. I will never forget looking at the fear in her eyes and hearing the alarm in her voice as she spoke of the terror that she and all Americans felt during this period in time, even though she was relating the story to me some 35 years after the fact. The fear that Japanese forces might invade a now undefended West Coast never left her, nor the millions of others who lived through the blackouts. The rumors, the unknown, it defined a part of her life that never quite went away. It was the same with my father, a veteran of the war. During the final months of his life, as his mind slowly slipped away, he would find himself back on the beaches of Dieppe, France, on that fateful day in August 1942, facing the wrong end of a German gun. These experiences are not unique. Many children of World War II veterans have spoken about similar incidents involving their own family members. The author of Silent Warriors, Submarine Warfare in the Pacific, was just a child during the war. His memories are of victory over the Empire of Japan, or VJ Day, Monday, September 2nd, 1945. It is a moment that would also help define his life. He would later serve in the U.S. Navy. Gene Masters was in the Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps, or ROTC, at the University of Notre Dame, where, at age 21, he fell in love with the idea of submarine service. The stories you are about to hear are not fiction. They really did happen. Only the names have been changed. This novel not only focuses on real war patrols that took place during World War II, but also the lives of individual sailors and servicemen. The sound or special effects you will hear in this audiobook are all creations of Tweet Audio Productions. They are based upon audio recordings that took place on American fleet submarines in action against the Imperial Japanese Navy during the war. These audio clips have only recently been digitized and are maintained by the San Francisco Maritime National Park Association, home to the USS Pompanito, a Balliol-class submarine that served on 6 patrols during World War II. This boat has been restored and is now a floating museum that is open to the public. It is docked at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, California, and it is the only one of its kind on the west coast of the United States. I would like to thank the numerous artists who have contributed to the production of this audiobook. Music and other effects are used throughout this audio production to signify breaks in chapters, or when scenes switch from life aboard an American submarine to the actions of a Japanese destroyer. My thanks especially to David Louis Luong of Louis Luong's Relaxation Cafe on YouTube for his numerous contributions. David's father served for the Chinese Army in World War II. My thanks also to the efforts and contributions of Kevin MacLeod and other musicians who have contributed to this audio production through the website freepd.com. I would also like to extend my thanks and gratitude to the United States Navy and the Navy Office of Public Affairs. This production is due to their assistance as well as patience. Finally, I would like to dedicate this audio production to the memory of my father. Andrew Jackson Bird served in an infantry assault unit with the Essex Scottish Regiment attached to the Canadian 6th Army during the war. Sent to England to guard the beaches against German invasion following the collapse of the British Expeditionary Force in France and its later evacuation from Dunkirk. He would later be captured during Operation Jubilee, better known as the raid at Dieppe, France, on August 19, 1942. He somehow managed to survive the rest of the war in a series of prisoner-of-war camps before he was finally liberated following the Long March on April 28, 1945, near Hamburg, Germany. I never got a chance to thank my father for what he did. I didn't understand it yet. I was just a child when he passed. It would be decades before I truly understood his actions and his sacrifice. This is for you, Dad. And now, Silent Warriors, Submarine Warfare in the Pacific, by Gene Masters.